Alright guys, Gaijin Guide here once again with another video about Japanese. In this one we're going to be talking about a few resources for learning. These are some of the things that I've used along my way learning Japanese that have really helped me out a lot, so I just wanted to share a few of those. So let's go ahead and get started. The first one, YesJapan.com, is a website run by a guy named George Trombley, who is an awesome Japanese teacher. He's got a book series, he's got video series, he's got so much stuff on his website and on YouTube, and his methods for teaching are quite unique compared to a lot of other places. The one thing that I think he does really well is not using Romaji. As I expressed in my first video, I believe, I absolutely hate Romaji, and I think it's the worst way to present Japanese to anybody because it's not Japanese. So I really recommend his Japanese in 5 series. They're all on YouTube. Some of them are on his site, Yes Japan. But pretty much it's just 5 minutes of like straight learning, and so it's really quick, and you can do it anywhere in between your classes, or you've always got enough time to watch a Japanese in 5. So those are great. Secondly is this Hiragana and Katakana game that I played when I was first starting. Pretty much with this, you match these up to where they go in the Hiragana chart, and then once you're done, it'll tell you your time, and it's kind of a fun way to get used to seeing Hiragana and Katakana and knowing where they go on the chart, so that when you write your chart out for practice, you know the order that everything goes in. So there's a Hiragana one and then a Katakana one if you click right here, and then on the drag and drop, and then it'll time you. Oh, I forgot to show you. At the bottom it'll time you, and it'll let you know your time. When you're done, it'll stop. So I think that's really cool, because I always liked to try to beat my time every time I did it. So I would do my Katakana flashcards, and then I'd play this game, and then I'd do my flashcards, and then I'd play this game again, and I'd usually cut a few seconds off every time I did that. So it's a really good way to either start on your Hiragana and Katakana or freshen up if you're a little rusty from the past. So also, flashcards are a great way to just cram information. I've made a set of 1,000 core vocab. I'll make a link so that you can download those. But pretty much you just print them off, you cut them up, and you've got 1,000 great vocab words that are very common. If you're taking any classes in school, your vocab words for that class will be the same words as this list, most likely, give or take some. But not only for kanji or hiragana or katakana, but words, grammar points. You can put anything on flashcards and really help yourself study that way. Cram.com, for those of you who don't want to spend the money to make cards with paper, those can be expensive. I mean, those 1,000 cards are going to cost you about probably $10 to print at an Office Max or something, or you can do it at home for a little cheaper. But Cram.com is a site where it's online flashcards, so you make a deck, or you copy a deck from someone else who's already made one, and you just go through it, and it's just virtual flashcards, which I think is great. I used this a little bit. I'm a big fan of actual flashcards, so I liked to print mine out. And I believe actually with Cram.com they do have an option to print, but they make the cards pretty big, so it wastes a lot of paper. So they will be a little bit more expensive than making them yourself and making them a little bit smaller of cards. LearnJapaneseAdventure.com is a site that I've recently discovered. And this one I've found really helpful for advanced grammar points. I haven't really used it for the beginner concepts, so I can't really say whether or not I think it's good for that. But based on what I've seen from the advanced grammar sections, I think it's a pretty good site. The downside with this one, some of the English on it is a little bit wrong. It's perfectly understandable, but there's some, small errors. And then also they do use Romaji on this site, which I don't like. But they also use Hiragana and Katakana and Kanji above the Romaji line, which I think is nice. So you can choose which one to read. Just don't read the Romaji one, or you will suck at reading for the rest of your life. That's true. And another thing, find a pen pal. There are tons of people in Japan that want to learn English or whatever you're learning, whatever language you speak. So there's plenty of people to talk to. There's a lot of sites. We've got like conversationexchange.com, laying8.com. I'll put links for some of these in the description. We've got like rhinospeak.com for listening practice. There's tons of good stuff that you can make friends. I have a few friends that I Skype with every now and then. About once a week I'll Skype with them, and it's really helped my speaking and listening skills more than any other type of study. Using your Japanese is the absolute best way to learn. And don't let anybody say anything different from that, because they're lying. Laying8.com I mentioned. This is a site where you make friends. You put it, when you sign up, it'll ask you your native language and the language that you're learning, and based on that, it'll match you up with people that are learning your language that know the language you're studying. So it's really good for that. And then on this site, you write a little paragraph or two about whatever the heck you want, and someone in the language that you're learning, and then someone who knows that language, who's fluent, will correct your mistakes. And it's a really good way to learn some grammar points here and there, to practice your writing. I like to write sakubun sometimes, which is a Japanese essay. And just for practice, I'll make up some stupid story and write it on a piece of paper. And that really helps me out. And that's pretty much what laying8.com is, except it's online. And then another thing, soak up media. Watching anime 24/7 is not going to make you excellent at Japanese, but it will slightly help you if you do it correctly. Honestly, I don't really use anime or Japanese movies or music really to study. I just kind of use that for fun, but it does help a little bit. So, and it gives you something to be interested in to keep you motivated in studying Japanese, because there's a lot of great things about Japan and about the Japanese language, and sometimes it's hard to keep that in mind, when you're studying and you're trying to get 15 kanji down in an hour, and it's just stressful, and it's really good to have something to look forward to. And every time you listen to a song and you hear a couple words that you actually understand for the first time, it's one of the greatest feelings in the world. So that's what I think is the best thing about using media as practice. Well, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Please rate, like, and subscribe if you liked this video. If you hated this video, you can like it anyways. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Sorry I haven't made one in a long time, but I should be able to get another one out within another week or two. So keep studying, and good luck, guys. Have a good one.